Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the size, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. PYUR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Ordinals the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on this channel. We're covering the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're back with an OnChain hour that will be unforgettable, guys, because the news in the markets right now is so bullish, but the price action ain't. What does that mean? That means we have a lot of catching up to do when it comes to price. We have a lot of catch up to do when it comes to opportunity. I truly believe in the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to experience something like we've never experienced before. And I think we're going to experience something that has upward momentum and TradFi driven and, retail coming back, momentum everywhere. Guys, I'm really, really excited. I'm really excited for the opportunity for people to make life-changing games in this cycle. And the only way to really do that, though, is understanding what to get into, when to get out of it, what's going to run the hardest, what's not. And we're gonna be getting into a lot of that stuff here on OnChain Revolution. We're going to be trying to bring you guys the top projects in the top space. We're really doing our homework right now, trying to find it. And if you watch the show, we're really big on what is happening in the Bitcoin ecosystem. We're really big on ordinals and runes, and they are running hard. And we think that they could be maybe the biggest winners of this cycle. That's only time can tell, right? But in our opinion, that's probably one of the biggest assets that we are looking into. We're going to be looking into a lot of that today. A lot of really amazing news too. Like I said, I don't understand why Bitcoin is sitting just under 118,000. Ethereum got up to 39 last night with a little bit of pullback. We're going to get into that and why we think Ethereum is the leading indicator that's going to lead us out of this bear market that we've been in for a very, very long time. But let's get this show started. I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? How you feeling today, bro?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. Yesterday, we had the weekly close, and it was a little mixed in terms of signals. I feel like Ethereum looks strong, pushed forward to that $3,900 mark, but then kind of tagged it and then retreated a little bit. And then today, it looks like the bell rang, and they wanted to pull it back even further. But it's not like it's bleeding, profusely. I can't talk right this morning. But anyways, bleeding a ton is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I got my tongue tied this morning. But anyways, Yeah, it's not pulling back extremely, and so it's hanging out in that high 3,700, which I think is a great sign. It's showing strength, but we'll see if we range, between the low to mid 3,700 to 3,900 now until it's ready to make a next move up. So I think all in all, we look really healthy. Not moving to $4,000 is not the end of the world. That, like I said, we tagged 3,900. I think that's good. Bitcoin's looking strong as well. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, we got to 123 and a pullback to 113, and last week 115, and getting back to 118 is a good sign, I believe. So we're in a good spot, guys. There's a lot of bullish news happening though, and I feel like it's giving people kind of making them antsy. I know I've had a little bit of anxiety saying, hey, I need to get into this, I need to get in that, but I'm taking my time because we still have 5 months left until the end of the year, right? And maybe let's say it's a shorter kind of like Q4 push up. You still, in my opinion, like the shortest version would be very, very late November, extremely early December would be the latest that I think it runs to. And so I think we still have a lot of time. So I'm taking my time, trying to have a clear head, trying to make the right decisions.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, trying to rush any decision right now, especially right now when we're still in the shaky part of the upward momentum. You do have Bitcoin sitting at 118,000. We're thinking it's going to be 130, 140 in the next, 30, 40 days, right? And then that should really spark everything else. Ethereum going to 4,800, I think, in my opinion, not going to put words in your mouth, but I think that's going to happen in the next, I want to say 30 to 60 days. Do you agree with that?
Getting to what number? Sorry.
4,800.
30, 60 days. Yes, I do believe that we, because what that will put us in is like right at the kind of leaning towards the end of the summer. And I believe that we attempt to crack that all-time high before the summer ends. So yeah, I think that's likely a scenario that happens.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking August right now is about 3 days away. Right, this Wednesday is the 31st, or maybe Thursday's the 31st. Friday being that first. I mean, we are kind of expecting maybe a little sideways up until that point. We do have Jerome speaking on Wednesday at the FOMC. Yeah, he's probably looking like he's not going to raise the rates or cut the rates at all. But he may say something in that really sparks something that heads into. I think it's a perfect storm. Right, him saying something, and then the end of the month, and then August 1st starts that Friday. I don't know. I'm really excited. But let's jump into the main topic of today. ETH to 4K, and then Tether drops US stablecoin bombshell. Right, so really excited for this. So that let's kind of get into the second part there because I'm really, really bullish on a Tether. Tether CEO Pablo Ardanio says the company will announce the new US domestic stablecoin. So they're not going to get in line with USDT, but they are going to drop a US based stablecoin that is basically but it's going to be fully backed, going to follow all the US rules, but USDT is not. So what is that telling you?
Smart.
USDT might get sanctioned.
Not if it's not used in the US. Why would it be sanctioned if it's not used in the US? So this is a smart move by them, in my opinion, and kind of like a little chess move here. Look, at the end of the day, the US government can try to flex its muscle and give Tether a really hard time if it really does want Tether to open the books and stuff on USDT. Now, I think this is a test, right? So if they roll out this new entity and this new stablecoin issued, that's separate from the USDT now. So all they have to show is that this new stablecoin is collateralized and backed by every inch of the stablecoin, right? So I think it's a really smart move, but also it could draw a little, pushback or a lot of pushback, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out how the government handles something like this, because I think the government last administration, hands down, would go at them very strong, sanction them, or come after them and all this stuff. But this administration, I'm not so sure that they're going to take that aggressive an approach, that as long as that they show that they can collateralize their new stablecoin that they issue out.
Yeah, I was watching the All In podcast about, I think it was the week and a half ago. David Sack came out and he basically said, if Tether has 3 years to get in line, or they will be basically saying they're going to be destroyed. So maybe this is a short-term fix until they can fix the whole thing. Or do you think they just don't care about applying with U.S. rules? This is the U.S. stablecoin. Use that one.
Yeah, I think that they can still cover the market in the US with this one, and they're not worried about USDT. USDT's in a kind of self I guess like creating its own success already. Like it's on the autopilot at this point. Not you. Obviously, they have to make sure that they continually do the right things. But with that being said, you know, this gives them an opportunity to say, okay, you know, we still play. We're going to be a contender in this market. Our USDT is doing amazing in other markets. We're fine. We're fine with it. We don't need to do anything with USDT over here. So again, this will all depend on how the U.S. government responds to what this decision they're making, this move. Do they take it as like a chess move to where they feel like they're trying to hide something? Are they going to go after Tether and make them open up more? We're going to find out pretty soon here.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's going to be fun to watch for sure. So nearly 1 billion worth of Ethereum shorts will be liquidated if ETH hits $44,000. So we do know that ETH is kind of sitting up there, and it kind of has that wall up there that it's really just being tested. It's been tested for almost a year and a half. Let me show you what I mean right here. So this is it right here, right? This is 4,000. This is just over $4,000. Back in March 2024, we came up, hit it, came back down. We tried again, didn't get close, came all the way back down here, got enough steam again, went up, touched it, and then came crashing back down the last 6 months. And just over the course of the last, I want to say month and a half, we've kind of climbed back up and are preparing ourselves to retest this thing. But this right here is kind of what I'm talking about. So if we do pass the 40,11 right here, that means this all gets liquidated. We are talking over $1 billion. Could that short squeeze be enough to kind of push us up to 4.4, 4.5?
Absolutely, it could. And it definitely could, but like I feel like this is almost planned, right? Can you go back to the previous chart? This one. Okay. What's the difference between this attempt at 4K versus the previous 3?
I mean, we went down and got a lot more room to run, right?
There's also something that's pretty different unique about this attempt, though. That you're right on that for sure. Oversold for sure there. Okay, so the main difference is those 3 attempts all happened in 2024, meaning we've only attempted to crack Ethereum at 4,000 once this year, in 6 months, while it was attempted 3 times. So every 4 months last year, on average, they attempted to crack $4,000 for Ethereum, meaning that Ethereum was, in my opinion, suppressed for the first 6 months. And then what happens when it's suppressed? You build confidence for shorts, right? And you're overselling and shorts are building up. Then you have now you can go to the next chart. You have all of those shorts that built up over that time of being oversold for so much. Now they about to get squeezed, and we've already squeezed, by the way, 2 weeks ago, and they felt it. But the problem is that a lot of these are so far in, they're hoping to God that there's like a reversal of some sort. You know what I mean? Some of them cut their losses, but like, man, it could be very bloody for bears, ETH bears more specifically. And I think, the bankless guys and the ETH maxis and stuff, they deserve a win. They've been beaten up like to a pulp this cycle, made fun of. Everybody's bullying Ethereum, right? Well, it looks like they're coming back pretty strong. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I truly believe that ETH is a new indicator. It's a new crypto indicator that Bitcoin once was, and now Bitcoin has become the S&P 500, has become the Nasdaq level, and now I think we're all depending on Ethereum right now to kind of hit all-time highs, just like we always depend on Bitcoin to hit all-time highs. So really excited to see what happens there. But TradFi is buying hand over fist right now. So last week, U.S. spot Ethereum ETF saw 1.8 billion inflows, surpassing Bitcoin's ETF inflows of only 72 million. So Bitcoin only saw 72 million inflows last week, while ETH saw 1.8 billion. I mean, we're talking, what, 20x, 30x? No, a lot more than that. Insanity. The TradFi is buying ETH heavy right now. They're preparing.
Wow, that's so low for Bitcoin.
I know.
That's crazy. But I mean, look, we're used to crypto retail whales doing the rotation, and it looks like the institutions are initiating rotation for us this time, and that's why it took so long. But with that being said, do we go into like this? And as I showed on my chart, my daily ETH chart last week, the one that you just showed, we were severely oversold. Do we go into a severely overbought period of ETH heading, ending the year? I think so. I think so, especially if this ETH, the ETF inflows continue to outsize Bitcoin's ETFs. I mean, this is wild. We have not seen anything close to this being consistent, like in terms of this type of, difference between ETH ETF versus Bitcoin ETF. So there is a kind of a rotation of Bitcoin. And look, there were signs. Like they say in crypto, there were signs. The signs were Tom Lee. That guy's the most famous guy on our show the past 3 weeks. But the guy is Tom Lee coming out and saying his company is rotating. His Bitcoin holding company is a Bitcoin holding company. That should have been the biggest sign, is rotating all their Bitcoin into Ethereum. And then you see Sharplink just being MicroStrategy 2.0 and the east side. I think they bought more yesterday.
They did. Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. But real quick though, so I was thinking about this too. I was like, wow, they're actually just doing exactly what we did or crypto did the last 4 cycles. But TradFi is data driven, right? They go off data, so past data. So obviously, this should be pretty obvious to us that they're going to look at past data between Bitcoin and Ethereum and just rotate into what that is. TradFi doesn't start trends; they just follow data, right? That's all they do. And when you think about it like that, you're like, oh, of course they're going to just follow the trend of Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps, small caps, craziness, and then rotate back into Bitcoin.
Yep. And it was on their time too. That was the frustrating thing. I think like most people that have been in Web3 for a while is kind of like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? It was basically whenever TradFi was ready for the rotation to happen. Unfortunately, but
yeah. This next thing is I found really interesting. So Ethereum is less inflationary than Bitcoin. It's been for 3 years. 3 years ago was the I thought that they would have a net inflow, like a heavy net inflow, but Bitcoin's actually higher than that. Let me actually show the chart. So Bitcoin has about a yearly supply increase of 1.3, while Ethereum's actually went a little bit negative, and then just now has become inflationary again, but by 0.1. So it's 10%, less than 10% of what Bitcoin's yearly inflow is. Can this grow? Yes, of course it can. But Bitcoin is going to be, averaging 1.3 at least for the next three years.
Yeah, that's definitely a surprising stat because we know that the supply is higher in Ethereum. It's not as high as maybe people would think as well. I think what are they like at 70 or 100 million or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Something around there, right? But like the fact that the increase in supply is so minimal, even compared to Bitcoin, which we know is a finite supply. The difference is that Bitcoin's supply is pretty much it's automated, right? It's based on the same thing that comes out every block, right? Until the halving decreases that, obviously. But I mean, look, dude, that like, and then Ethereum's attractiveness of being able to stake for 6%, 5%. Okay, let's say 5%, whatever. 5.7, whatever it is right now. But it's attractive to institutions. I mean, like institutions love to be able to get like 3%. You know what I mean? Like safe institutions. If they're earning that on the public, they're winning big time because they got billions of dollars that goes against that 3%. They're getting 5.7. That's absolutely nuts, right? So it's a really attractive asset to them for the time being right now, heading into this this last quarter. So it's going to be interesting, guys. There's a lot of factors are coming into play. I'm really bullish for the second half of this year, which we've talked about for a very long time. While things were slow as molasses, and now I feel like things are moving, not even the way that like we thought they would, but they're moving up. They're moving up, and actually in some ways even more bullish. It's just the way that the institutions are handling them with the SPACs that are being created to buy back tokens for SUI, possibly other projects in the Bitcoin ecosystem as well. But we'll find out.
Yeah, 100%. Really, I'm super bullish right now, dude. All right, let's jump into the next thing here. Ordinals have been running. So real quick, I just want to call out this comment. We will get to the comments later, but this comment by Dominage, what happened to Ordinals trash can? bro, did you see Node Monkeys go from 227 or 0.027 to I want to say 0.01? Like, it's absolutely insane, bro. You should really double check before you come in here. Change the name to OnChain Revolution. Man, you are late, but thank you so much for coming back and watching, man. Really appreciate you and everything you do for the show, because you coming in here actually means a lot. Thank you for your comments as well. So, but make sure you smash that like on your way out. But thank you so much. But let's jump into some ordinal stuff here. So ordinals have been running strong. Will runes be the next rotation? I actually think they will be. So let's take a look at what is happening with the ordinals. So you do have, like I said, the Node Monkeys sitting at $9,000 here. I'm in dollars because it's just easier, because it used to be easy when Bitcoin was 100 grand. It was easy to do the math in my head. But now the Bitcoin is 118,000. It's always like, okay, it's always skewed. So it's easier for me just to use USDC or USD here. But Node Monkey sitting at 9,000, Puppets at 6,000, Ordinal MaxiBiz at 3,000. Then you have Taproot Wizards running back up to 27K. Quantum Cats really haven't had their breakout moment yet. I think it does come. And they got Adrenals, right? Letters sitting at 1.7, down 30%. But this thing was over $2,000 yesterday. Absolutely insane. What do you first think about the Ordinals? And real quick, I want to say that you were right. Because about a couple months ago, we were having a little bit of debate which one's going to run the hardest and which one's going to be looked at as the
it just
top
started.
collection. Well, I said, well, you're right. I mean, as of right now, but I said Puppets. You said Node Monkeys. It does look like it's going to be Node Monkeys, even going forward from today.
Yo, that volume is crazy, dude.
I know.
Like $1 million. First of all, like I just have this like intuition right now or feeling that like Node Monks are going to six figures. And like, yeah, I mean, I do. I have this feeling, but like, it makes me. I'm feeling this also like in my pit of FOMO, and I'm trying not to, because I don't have any Node Monks anymore. Like, I got rid of them, when they peaked last time, which was half of what I'm saying that they could go to now. So I don't think that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than half, actually, about 60%. So with that being said, this is such a good sign for DeFi, for NFTs, this is such a good sign, because the strength that ordinals are showing right now, and more specifically Node Monks has been like a leader in terms of price action in ordinals since they came on the scene. Now there was a couple periods or seasons that they were kind of lethargic a little bit, but never like just trash. You know what I mean? They were just like a little lethargic. They let Puppets kind of take that lead for a little bit and stuff like that. I think this is a pretty clear indicator that whoever is the market makers or whoever is kind of leading Node Monks, that like they believe that we are kind of what we believe. We're heading into this bullish second half of 2025, and they're getting ready basically, and so remember, the ordinals ecosystem has characteristics or attributes of them that other NFTs don't have, like early inscription meta, stuff like that. That could come back, especially as these raise in value, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Something like frogs is something that I'm paying my attention to see if they start to trigger and start to run up, because they were also a leading indicator previously. They're kind of back to that 1100 that they were a week and a half ago. So I'm not like, if they get to 5,000, big win, right? For the short term.
Yeah,
big win for the cycle. For them, I think is probably like lower, like 20 to 40,000, something like that. Big win.
Dude, that's a potential 40x.
Yeah, but you have to remember, like, these NFTs or ordinals, they if Node Monks at 100K, why not frogs at like 20 to 40K? You know what I mean? So it's possible.
No, 100%. I was going to ask you, I know who you're going to say now, but is there anything in this list that you're kind of looking into potentially? Let's just say No Monkeys is out of range now. It already kind of ran. Is there anyone on this list that hasn't run yet?
OMB.
Okay.
OMB is one. ZK Shark is someone that can really look right now. You got to think about who's the leaders of the project. You got ZK Shark. He knows how to get stuff pumping. You got Rock Toshi. He might not say that he's leading node monks, but I have a feeling that he's pulling a lot of strings in the back end. This is just my gut feeling. And then you got Puppets and Farmer Joe, and Puppets has more of a team of degenerates that work together. Yeah. Farmer Joe, Decentralized, Hills, Lord, yeah, all of them, right? And so they're all going to have their moment in the sun. Which ones don't, though, right? That's going to be a question, right? So like, which ones don't really, show that energy that they showed the first run up? We could see something like I hold a honey badger, but I don't know, man. Like that team, like it's weird. Like I feel like, I hold one of the early inscription ones. And I just feel like they really kind of they're jumped up a little bit, but what's their all-time high? Honey badgers, weren't they like a couple grand?
There they are. About $228 now. Yeah, I mean,
like a couple grand.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. You gotta change if you're looking at the whatever
inscription
number.
But like that has to be whenever the inscription meta is hot, like the number meta is hot, right? So like just as a NFT collection, I think the highest floor that I remember seeing them was between like 1,500 and maybe like 2,500 or something.
Yeah,
like, and that's with like the million inscription number ones, anything basically. And so I've listed my honey badger for what price I want. We'll see if I get it, but
yeah, 100% for me. I think Quantum Cats could run. I think Udi has enough money to really push them right now. I think he's focused on getting Taproot Wizards over 30K, but I think he's going to come back and push the Quantum Cats as well. You gotta remember, Udi is somebody who is very egotistic, I guess to say the least. I think he wants everyone to feel that he is the man, and I could see Quantum Cats back at 20K very quickly. I could see Taproot Wizards getting over 100K. These are obviously, it's only a 4x for Taproot Wizards, and that's only a 4x for Quantum Cats, but I definitely see this happening within the next 3 months, honestly. But let's move along here from the Ordinals and kind of get to the question: will runes be the next rotation? So we do know how it used to work. Past data would show your fungibles would run first. At the beginning, they were BRC20s, and later in November of last year, you saw runes really run, and then that kind of got pushed into Ordinals. This is different this time because it does feel like Ordinals are running first. Are runes the next rotation? It's going to go the other way this time and jump back into runes.
Yeah, so I feel like runes had a little bit of a energy boost that got shot in its butt, right? In terms of see some of these go up. So I wouldn't say like Ordinals technically had like the first run up. Maybe they'll have the first aggressive one, but like runes really started to kind of get things going, in my opinion. So I kind of count that, even though like, let's be real, like Magic Internet Money, that's a pretty good run so far, but like nothing like what we expect. Right. So I think what Ordinals are doing right now is just leveling up a little bit. I don't think they do their hard run yet. I think that happens after runes does their hard run, and I think the fungibles do flow back into it. But you have to remember, a lot of the people that love runes and that are in the runes culture are very much so connected into the Ordinals culture. So that rotation will 1000% happen, and it will be such a rotation, in my opinion. If as long as runes has that really strong success, we're talking about dog at like between 1 and 2 billion first, right? First leg. $1 billion cat, we're talking getting back to like maybe getting to like 180 to 200 million. Pups, you know what I'm saying? That first step, and then they'll rotate into Ordinals, and then probably one more rotation, and that will be the blow off top one for both, in my opinion. But because these are two communities and driven people and leaders on both sides that are connected, I think they both like thrive at off of each other, and they'll be able to suck people in because just the energy will be so good. It'll be like 2023 times like 10 at the end.
Yeah, no, 100%. And, with everyone kind of feeling the same way, potential rate cuts happening as well. I mean, you could see a lot of people feeling like they have a lot of money, and that money could be dumped into projects and meme coins like these ones over here. But is it possible for Ordinals and runes to run together, or do you think it'll always be one's down, the other one's popping? I guess that's more of a PvP question, right? Because right now it's still very PvP. It's just player versus player right now. People are trading. Do you think they can all kind of run together, or do you think it will be kind of back and forth until the end?
I think that it will be back and forth for the most part until like there's a point where there's so much liquidity and capital, that may last like 3 months. That may last 2 months. They might last 5 months. We don't
Yeah.
know what the kind of blow off the top of this um cycle is going to be like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it is, pretty much like you looking around, you can throw a dart in the dark and hit a project and they run together at kind of towards the end. That's the only case to where I think they both run together though. Other than that, I think it'll be rotation back and forth.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think you're right. I definitely think you're right. All right, let's jump into some dog here. So dog has been, we talk about treasury companies, right? But dog, this treasury company CBLO has acquired another 2,681,000 dog. More dog coins. Our total holdings now stand at 144,749. Let's check out their thing here. So this is it right here. We do know that C2 blockchain is like, I think they're like a penny stock on the stock market. I never really looked into them, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think they trade in the pink sheets. But anyway, they're a publicly traded company. They've been buying dog hand over fist right now. They have 144 million dog. As you can see, their goal has always been 200 million. So they are 72% away from their goal. My question for you is, will they hit their goal in August? And if they do hit their goal, will they change it to, let's just say, maybe 1 billion dog?
Oh, $1 billion, man. That's a lot of dog. I think
only 5x more than their previous target.
Well, I mean, I think if they depends on what the price of dog is though, right? Like, so if they hit their target and dog is still between 500 and 700,000, then I think they probably extend it. They add more. I don't know about going to $1 billion though, because like at some point, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe. I mean, I will say this for the dog army, dude. This is so good. Are you kidding me? Like, you got a company that's like publicly backing like dog. This is a company that generates revenue, and they're saying we believe in dog so much to where we're buying 200 million dog or whatever, that's the goal. And so it's extremely bullish. And also, I mean, I just don't see a scenario where dog loses, dude. I mean, there's just too many big accounts that's spreading like wildfire. The community is contagious. The viral social effects are contagious. I mean, it's just going to be in a good situation this time next year.
Yeah. No, I agree. I couldn't actually agree more. I do think that they get their goal in the next 3 weeks. I think that 28% is going to get eaten up very quickly. I think they're motivated right now to get it while it's cheap. And I do think they're going to change this target. Maybe keep this here, right? Like target 1 and then have a target 2 and then put something crazy like 1 billion dog. I think that would really get the community excited, right? And then really, I think that's enough for people to actually come in and kind of, even if they don't ever hit that goal, but just have it there would be really cool to kind of see. And then I think the community will get really excited about that. But yeah, it's a C2 blockchain, man. I think this guys. What if it goes to $1? Like, I'm just saying, right? What if they get $1 billion and it goes to $1? This company that's trading on the pink sheets has $1 billion in an asset. Is that scary to you though? Would you be worried about them dumping it? When they can sell stock, their stock would rise so much. They can sell stock.
I mean, there's obviously like a strategic end goal. You know what I mean? It's not like just like go broke buying dog. You know what I mean?
Could this be the end goal? Past quarter, they're up 438%.
Yeah. Look, I will say this though. So there's these parts of the dog community that's got I love tinfoil hats. You guys know that, the conspiracy theory guy. That's me. But complaining about Gate.io suppressing dog's price and this happening, it's not going to be able to do like. If you're in that, like either you're in or out, I mean, you got to stay and if you're convicted. But what something like this will do is when the price starts to move and they're acquiring so much and it's public, right? Then you start to see retail whales that might not have heard about dog, which there's probably not too many, but there'll be new ones that come in and say, what's this dog coin? Why is it pumping so much? And then someone's like, oh, there's publicly traded companies buying it, like acquiring it as like a reserve. They'll be like, what? Oh my God, like I got to get into this. I'm going to drop like 500K into it or something because they feel like there's so much support from a strategic level. It can't lose, You know what I mean? And then to your point of like, okay, you know, how far do they go here? You know, if dog achieves like basically escape velocity to the point to where it's created a life of its own, like it doesn't need so much crazy community support at that point, or and all this stuff. It's just it's like Doge at this point. Like that market cap has hit, you know, multiple like $10 billion. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter if they discontinue runes or not. They will keep this token alive because how big the market cap is. You know, then it doesn't matter if they continually acquire, is my point. Obviously, you need to do it in a smart, strategic way. If you have to keep your doors open or whatever they do, you know. So
but we'll see. I think, dude, I think if they set their target to $1 billion, I might buy the stock. Like honestly, dude, because I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of people be like, you know, maybe not in crypto, but they're like, oh, well, they're buying meme coins. This company's crazy. Let me throw a couple $100 in there, and they could actually take this off the pink sheets and get this on something else, right? So where it's trading, you know, on E-Trade and stuff like that. I think you can trade the pink sheet on E-Trade stuff, but that'll get it more, maybe even on Robinhood, right, or something like that. That could be crazy.
Dude. 100%, man. And you know the thing is that like look, if you have companies like this and they have some connections in Wall Street or whatever, I know they do, they have to, right? They went public. It could very well get to the point where you have like public companies that have these connections that have skin in the game. So now let's just say the ones that we know, C2 blockchain, very invested in dog. Kraken, very invested in dog in the sense of the infrastructure and all that stuff. You don't think that they can influence other centralized exchanges and stuff? Hey, like, you know, dog is going to be huge. So we're telling you this on Bitcoin, right? Like the CEO of Robinhood could get influenced or whatever. These guys run in the same circles, you know. And with that being said, that could be the, you know, the reason why it goes into escape velocity, right? Is something like that. But the future, in my opinion, just looks so strong. And I know right now everybody's like, well, it should be at $1 billion. Why? Because it got listed on Kraken, and C2 blockchain has, you have to remember there was some older whales that were older whales that OGs that got in. They probably sold off some and took some profit, but it's not ready yet, guys. Like we're there, we're getting there. Okay. But once this thing blows the lid, I think there's no turning back from it. Like once you pass $2 billion, bro, like it's up only when you zoom out.
100%. 100%. Even in a bear market, you saw something like Doge and Shiba stay alive, and they kind of did really well in the sense that they didn't die, right? I mean, they didn't drop below $1 billion. They stayed strong, which shows you meme coins, like them or not, they have longevity and they're here to stay. And dog is the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin. So it's saying a lot. But you know, you did mention Kraken. So the CEO of Kraken has been posting about runes all weekend. Obviously, they listed dog. Rumor has it they're going to be listing Magic Internet Money the first week of August, and potentially 4 to 5 runes in August. You might see 4 to 5 runes, and that could be a hint here. Which ones? I mean, obviously Lobo, Magic Internet Money. You got Puppets. You got Billy. There's a Gizmo guy right there. So this is 5 runes in here that potentially going to be listed. Kraken didn't spend 6 months developing a rune solution to be able to have runes on their exchange just to only list dog, right? They're going to be listing multiple runes here. I think Leonidas is helping them kind of figure out which ones that they should list. I think Leonidas is kind of pushing for Lobo, not putting words in his mouth, but it's kind of just what I'm thinking. I think, that's why Lobo is here, but Lobo does have a strong community behind it. I am noticing that now more and more. I did it before. I thought, who the hell is in this community? But if you cash tag Lobo, you're getting pretty much at least 7 to 8 people immediately liking your post and then even retweeting it as well. So Lobo community is out there. They're actually stronger than I thought. Billy community is insane. Gizmo community is crazy. Pups. Don't see a lot of pups on my timeline. I think this is just driven by the Puppets ordinal. But what do you think about this and potentially 5 runes getting listed in August on Kraken?
Well, I'm looking for consistencies, right? And with consistencies so far, I feel like Billy's been kind of consistent in these postings. Obviously, we know Mim is probably up next. And then Lobo was in the beginning, got kind of out of the post for a little bit and now back in. So, if I had to pick, which ones would probably be next, I would say you got Billy, you got Lobo, and we know Mims going in. Now it's between Pups, Gizmo, and Brobear, which Brobear hasn't been in these posts recently, right? So I'm not sure, man. Like, I think it's so if you're in a Runes community, by the way, that you hear us talking about Brobear, Base Internet Panda, Psycho Hamster, $1 Billion Cat, Gizmo, Pups, you guys need to be loud, dude. They're looking for that, as well as obviously numbers matter. So you look at numbers, Lobo has 59,000 holders. So to me, that's one of the main reasons that they're even out there. $1 Billion Cat has probably the second most out of this group here. And it has about 16,000 or 15,000. And then you go Pups, and then you go Gizmo, right? So, and then Brobear. But it's going to be about like how loud you guys can get, man. This is it right here. If you're a Runes community, get loud, start hosting spaces, do stuff to where, you can catch their attention, make a splash. Because that's what it's going to be about.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Yep. Couldn't agree more. Just excited, man. I'm just excited to be in this ecosystem right now. I do think that what happened with the node monkeys right now, and they're kind of pushing people to kind of check out Ordinals. Eventually, they're going to say, hey, there's fungibles running over here too. What's this dog thing? 300 million? Wow, this is early. This could really run. So I'm really excited for that. But let's get into the today's crypto fear and greed here. There it is. So last week we're at 67. Yesterday we're at 64. My hint for you is we're pretty much where we were last week.
57 or 67?
67.
Yeah,
right there. So, I mean, it is what it is. It does feel sideways right now. I feel like this is correct. I feel very comfortable with being at 67.
Yeah, I feel good about it as well. I was paying a lot of very close attention to Ethereum with that little correction that we went through. And look, it might not be over, but I will say for what I saw strength. I saw it dip to like 35, 40, I think the lowest, which it, very quickly got back into the 3600s and then higher. Bitcoin, what have I seen with Bitcoin? I've seen strength and stability. The first time it crossed 123, it did come back to 113. I said, uh-oh. But then since then, we haven't seen 113 again. We have seen 114, like 6 or 3 or something like that, but we didn't see 113. And last week, I think it pulled back to 115, and we saw it claw all the way back to what did it hit yesterday? 120. No, I'm talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, never mind. That was last week. Okay, so Bitcoin hit like 119,800. So it didn't quite get to 120, but hey, the thing about it is showing strength, and Ethereum showing strength, and with the ETF flows kind of switching here, all Bitcoin really needs to do is just stabilize. That's okay. Like, let Ethereum and kind of have its moment a little bit, which it's had. We'll see if it continues. Again, big thing that sticks out to me: 3 attempts at 4,000 in 2024, only 1 attempt in 2025, and it's already 7 months into the year. So oversold like a mofo, and so I think we go into overbought kind of like for the next.
You got a rhyme for
months. No, but I don't know. I'm just feeling it.
Let's go. I'm hyped, bro. Let's get to the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, these guys are live on Botonics. We are going to be lucky enough today to be interviewing one of the top people over on Botonics. They are powered by the Spider Chain. Really excited to talk to them, kind of learn more about Botonics. But you guys can go play. Botonics is live on mainnet, and you guys can use Artura to make your leverage trades. And guys, you definitely want to be a part of the Artura community. All you got to seriously go over there, do one trade, $1. You can bridge over $1 using 21A Bitcoin World. And we're actually going to do an airdrop video of covering everything potentially for Botonics. So Botonics giving away Bitcoin, guys. I don't think you guys understand. They're going to be airdropping tons and tons of Bitcoin to people that use their chain. They're incentivizing their chain with Bitcoin. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Go over there, start playing on Botonics today. You do not want to miss this. We will be having an airdrop video kind of walking you through the process. We already do have a video for Artura, about Artura, kind of getting you guys be able to onboard over there. Definitely check out that video if you want to be able to get on Artura, get PYUSD, and that is the trading asset that you'll need, the dollar that you'll be trading over there. So definitely check out Artura.finance.
Absolutely excited for what those guys are going to be bringing to the Bitcoin ecosystem. But man, you guys are definitely helping us out already. We got 663 people in here, but help us out some more. We're going to ask for some more help on the YouTube side. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, all that great stuff. And so you know when we go live and on X. Let's share this space, guys. I know we got a lot from X in here right now. Appreciate all your help there, but let's keep sharing this space. Let's hit that like. Let's do all the follows to OnChain Revolution. And same thing for Abstract, guys. People are getting excited. They're getting back in here, but let's take a look at some price action for Bitcoin, starting with the hour chart. All right, let's take a look here, guys. Let's take a look. Okay, so Bitcoin, you know, looked pretty decent yesterday, got up to that 119,800, and it's been kind of a downtrend since then. Okay, especially after the you see the bell ring in here, right in this area, right? So we were trying to get a little bit of stability, then the bell rang, and you know, definitely decided to take it down a bit. But it looks like we might be starting to see a little bit of maybe ranging activity here. We'll see. This is the hour chart, so we need a little bit more time to see. But we did get below the 50-day EMA. We'll see if we can get back above that. Now let's take a look at the indicators. The indicators are telling us two things here for the stochastics. We've been in oversold territory since midnight Central Time. Okay, so we've been here for a minute. It looked like it wanted to exhaust here. You can even see the break in the blue line, which is the fast MACD line. It's the leading indicator line for MACD. It looked like it was trying to break up. It reversed. So we were about to exhaust. So, you know, it's going to be important to see what happens here. Do we start to curl back up? It looked like the indicator, or the MACD bars here, the red bars, it's going a little bit back. It's like blinking right now, but it's going back and forth. What do we want to do here? Do we want to exhaust this and come back up? You know, we have been in here and the stochastic RSI oversold for a good little minute. But, you know, this is something to keep our eye on. Let's take a look at the support and resistance. Let's pull the data to this morning, 2 a.m. Okay, that's fair. All right, let's do that. All right, at the price levels that we're at right now, we see Bitcoin losing a bit to the resistance. Not anything crazy. There's not a ton of volume here as well. You can see it's pushed back. But this battle right here, we're losing a little bit. The support's losing to resistance a little bit. Right above that, too, the resistance is kind of holding that. So kind of like the ceiling we probably bouncing off of. Right below that, we got some support in these two levels, right? The 118,250, 118,200. And then we lose it again here. So I think it's gonna be really important for us to get through these levels, right? Before we can break up and have these indicators really tell us that we're heading back up. We break through here, then we have the advantage at 118,455. With no volume, you know, this is where we might get stuck a little bit because the volume increases here and we are about balance. So if we can get some big bids, though, we push up here, might be able to kind of get through this because it's just kind of a little bit getting through the jungles is what it looks like in these areas. So we might have to settle for a little bit of back and forth, guys, for the rest of today. I'm okay with that. Look, we ended Sunday decent, and Bitcoin's back to 118, low 118s. It's fluctuating between 118 and 119. I'm okay ranging back and forth for the rest of today. Let's see how tomorrow plays out. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting, to be honest with you, is probably some ranging from the high 117s all the way to like low 119s for the rest of today. That's probably what we're going to see, to be honest. All right, let's take a look at the 4 hour to see what kind of information it's given us. All right, pulling this back here. Let's pull up the 4 hour chart here. All right. So 4 hour is telling us that we might be hitting a bit of exhaustion, right? If we do on the hour chart get a little bit of a aggressive down selling pressure, which I don't really see that happening. I mean, of course, anything can change very quickly. But if that happens, then we might come out of buy pressure, which would not be good for Bitcoin, because that means that probably for the next couple of days, we'll range back down to like 115, which is okay still. It's not anything to be super worried about. But that 1 hour chart's really going to give us a lot of information here in the next 4 to 6 to 8 hours to let us know how the 4 hour chart's going to play. Now, the fact that we have been in kind of like this buy pressure since July 26th, which was that yesterday? No, that was okay, Saturday. Yeah, okay, so like we've been in this buy pressure since Saturday. This could open back up if we do end up getting like more bullish price action on the shorter time frames. But I don't know. I really need to see how today plays out and then get obviously a better read on maybe the next couple of days here. Nothing too much to worry about, but we are coming down out of overbought territory as well. So this could be a sign that we might kind of range back down a little bit here in the next day or so. That's okay, guys. Remember, don't freak out. We're ending the month, and as I told Shizzy, I absolutely don't like the end of months because I feel like a lot of cleanup happens, right? So, yeah. So that's what I see on the 4-hour chart. Let's take a look here on the daily. Looks like all of my charts here need to load up. That's interesting. One thing too on the daily is something to pay a lot of attention to because we had such a strong run on the daily chart that it's we're in sell pressure now, right? You see that on the MACD. So the MACD is showing sell pressure, right? But if this is the sell pressure, if this is the sell pressure and I'm at 118, low 118s, I'm happy, dude. I'm happy if this is the sell pressure because to me, 118, low 118s is nothing to worry about with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, has been really thriving and showing strength. So if this is the sell pressure for the daily chart, I'll take it. I'll take it. And we'll come out of this and we'll start another buy pressure run. And I think this is playing out perfectly for that. So I think we look fine on the daily. Wouldn't worry too much there. One thing I do want to check though, before we go to Ethereum is the weekly chart. The weekly chart is something that I think that daily chart that we just looked at, if we get a couple more days of red for daily and then we finish this week maybe with a little bit like chop, and then next week starting August we could see some bullishness activity for Bitcoin. Look, we're still in a good spot for the setup here. Yes, I know it's showing a little exhaustion, but you got to look at this. I have this circled for a reason. It just looks so similar. Yes, there's a little bit more of a break in the middle here than here, but that doesn't matter. We continue on with this leg up. We'll see if that plays out. So weekly looks pretty good as well. Let's take a look at Ethereum on the daily chart. So this is one to pay attention to. This is that chart that we tried 3 times for 4,000 in 2024. This is our first attempt at 4,000 in 2025. The daily chart is losing some momentum on this momentum indicator, the MACD, but that doesn't mean it's over. That means that, we could go through something small with a couple sell down days and then pop back up. But that is what I'm expecting. I don't expect for this attempt to be over with. Again, we had an extreme oversold event happen in the first 6 months of almost 7 months, really. No, it's about first 6 months of 2025. And I think that we're going to get, overcompensation to the upside to match that. Not every chart has perfect symmetry in terms of the next move being the opposite of the previous, but I just with the data of not really just being neglected, basically ETH being neglected this entire year until now, I think there's so much pent up demand for it. And so that's why I think we could see something to where maybe it happened with Bitcoin too. Bitcoin looked like it was going to close out of the daily and then it opened back up to another big, momentum session for the MACD. So we could see something like that with Ethereum. We could see a little bit of red. We could say medium red, but I just don't see us coming all the way back down. That's not a scenario that I see happening, but we shall see if I'm right or wrong. Let's take a look here at the crypto bubbles really quick to give you guys an update on how the alts are looking. So it's about 75% red, the 25% green, but that is the top 200. Let's start with the big boys here in the top 100, about the same ratio. Hex, Richard Hart must be doing cultish streams again because it is rocking and rolling, 21.2%. But you mentioned before in the past that when Hex starts going, it's kind of a sign of go time, right? So Hex up 21.2%, optimism up.
Real quick though on that, Hex is a retail driven, you cannot get Hex on centralized exchanges. There's no centralized exchange that has Hex, right? So it is completely buy Ethereum, swap it on chain. That's the only really way to get Hex.
Yeah, it is so funny because Eric Wall is obviously the arch nemesis in a playful way with Richard Hart. I think they're actually probably get along when they meet and stuff. But it's funny because he basically was saying that Richard Hart, when he's right, it's never intentional. And he was saying that he unintentionally made Hex one of the top ETH strategic reserve companies because, like, you know, they were hoarding ETH because of, don't they use Ethereum for gas, or they do something? Yeah. So and they were
well,
just
no, it wasn't that. It was the they did a thing called the sacrifice or the sack.
Oh yeah,
for
that's
Pulse
right.
Chain. So you had to sacrifice your ETH, sacrifice your Bitcoin, and there's over $100 million, I think, in Ethereum just sitting there. That it had never been touched. It got sacrificed, and I think Richard Hart is afraid to do something with it. But the rumor has it he's going to dump all that ETH in the Pulse Chain. So I don't know how true that is, but could you imagine that swap $100 million for PLS?
Oh man. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's why I think, like, you know, people are getting bullish on Hex, is because, you know, unintentionally they end up being one of the
Was it
largest.
unintentionally? Was it unintentionally?
I mean, the guy's
sacrifice your
he's
ETH
smart.
for what?
He's a smart guy. I mean, let's not get it twisted. The guy's smart. So
So
he might.
CMSA corrects me. He says 600 million in ETH. So so it's 6 times what I thought. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at some of these other blue chips and tokens in the top 100. You got Optimism with a pretty good bump up of 8.8%. BNB continues to thrive. It hit its all-time high last week, and it continues. And I'm not like, I expect it to continually hit all-time highs. This is what I'm trying to say here. Radium up 5.4%. Radium doing some big things. I think they're going to have some collab announcement coming up as well. You got SPX up 5%. One of the top meme coins on Solana. Hyperliquid finally, when, you know, everything stops running a little bit, Hyperliquid says, okay, it's my turn to run, which was very odd because everything was running and everybody's complaining about Hyperliquid. It's up 4.6%. You got AVAX pumped up to a 4.1% increase. IP up 6.4%. What else do we have here? HTX up 0.8% here. At XDC up 2.9%. Let's look at some of the ones that pulled back. Virtuals pulled back 5.4%. Maker DAO pulled back 5.6%. You got HBAR pulling back 4.8%. Tau pulling back 3.7%. Render pulling back 2.1%. IOTA pulling back 3.7%. Ethereum pulling back 0.4%. Pepe pulling back 2.4%. Quant pulling back 2.3%. Shiba pulling back 2.7%. Sonic pulling back 3.1%. You got Stacks pulling back 2.7% there. Pengu pulling back 4%. You got Say pulling back 3.4%. Jasmine pulling back 2.9%. And then you got Cake pulling up 5.3%. Let's take a look at the top 200 here. All right, starting with some of these pull-ups. You got Pulse X. This definitely has to do, I think, with the ETH treasury or whatever they're doing with that. Pulse X up 11.2%. Pulse up 7.2%. You got Super up 4.4%. Useless, which is the #1 meme coin on Bonk Fun, up 3.2%. Memeland up 10.6%. ZBCN up 9.7%. What pulled back? Let's take a look at some big ones. I enjoy saying this one because our guy Jack Liu, BSV pulling back 3.7%. Just messing with them. All right, Mog pulled back 1.9%. What else? Peanuts, poor Peanut. He's pulled back 1.8%. Aerodrome, is it Aerodrome? Yeah, Aerodrome Finance pulled back 2.8%. You got Popcat pulled back 4.2%. Syrup, which is the Maple token, pulled back 4.4%. Dog Go to the Moon, not worried about this at all, but it did pull back 1.7%. Turbo, it pulled back 3.7%. It's the meme coin on Arbitrum. And then that's gonna wrap things up, guys. Hopefully this price action session along with the alts and the crypto bubbles helped you guys out.
Yep, 100%. And we're gonna get into our next guest. I'll do the roll call after, so I don't want to push it up against Jeff hopping in here. But real quick, I just do want to say shout out to our guy Token Jokin. Love you, Chads. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, my friend. Really appreciate that. Felix says, "Is the bear market back?" The bear market. All right. But yeah, so let's kind of get into while we wait. For Jeff, this one is really interesting. So PayPal uses PYUSD stablecoin to enable payments in over 100 cryptocurrencies. So so PayPal is really pushing PYUSD right now. I think PYUSD could be the main stablecoin used in the US. Do you think that's possible? Do you think PYUSD could really be utilized by? I mean, we're talking how many companies take PayPal, right? I mean, I think every company takes PayPal. Could eBay start using PYUSD in a partnership? And I would buy things on eBay with my stablecoins.
So eBay and PayPal's relationship actually was strained for a little bit. I want to say about like 5 years ago, to where eBay started accepting like direct credit debit payment and receiving payments of your seller. But maybe this is something that they decide to partner with PayPal with, so they don't feel left behind. Because at the end of the day, like, the Web2 companies that don't make moves in Web3 are going to get left behind. So this could be an opportunity for them if PayPal offers eBay something there. But PayPal has so many partnerships that it's not just eBay, right? Like this is going to go across the board. So does it become the most used stablecoin? Could be just because of how they operate. And how they integrate it's going to be very important. But from what you were telling me pre-show, I think that's one of the most attractive options, is to be able to withdraw through PayPal using PYUSD with 0 fee. And I know Coinbase tries to do that in terms of swapping. If you swap something to USD, they charge you a fee for that. But like for you to withdraw it and sell it, I think if you sell USDC into like their withdrawable USD, I don't think they charge you a fee, but you can only do the withdrawal. You can't do the instantaneous withdrawal without a fee. So, which honestly, it comes at like, but here's the problem. Here's where PayPal has the advantage. They're more payment friendly, right? Yeah. So because, and they own Venmo, mind you. So the fact that they can just roll something into Venmo as well as a product, that gives them the edge. The only thing that I'm thinking of is, okay, so does this become a situation where USDC starts to say, hold on a second, like, we're the king, we're the winner type of situation, that's the only thing. But I don't think that matters. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to be able to do anything legally to block the success of PYUSD. So I think USDC will probably just be like, oh, okay, there's going to be a top 3 PYUSDs, either 1, 2, or 3. We're fine with that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think PayPal actually, grows to compete with Coinbase one day as a cryptocurrency hub, because right now they have to find better ways to earn, and they have crypto there. You can buy like 12 or 13 different cryptocurrencies on PayPal, and you can buy them with your credit card, your debit card, right on PayPal. Like, and everyone already, I mean, I used PayPal for the last 12 years, right? I have an account. Everyone has an account there. So it's easy enough to just deposit money in there and buy crypto there, and you can withdraw it off. Before, you weren't able to do that before, but as of this year, you're able to withdraw your cryptocurrency off PayPal wherever you want, and then send the PYUSD to PayPal and cash out. That's like, I wish I would have seen this years ago, because I've been using Cash App as my on and off ramp, and Cash App is kind of expensive, and PayPal is almost free.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's kind of get into our next segment here. So every week we like to showcase one of our partners here, and that partner is the amazing guys at MerlinChain. MerlinChain, if you don't know what they are a Bitcoin layer 2 that is pushing AI to the brink, guys. We talked about AI all last week. Our artificial intelligence is the next wave of crypto, and Jeff understands that. They also are one of the top leaders in BitFi. Yes, you're able to stake your Bitcoin over there and earn insane yield. Between 8 and 21%, and I think it's average of, or 24%. And I think it's an average of like 16. It's absolutely insane. Definitely want to do that if you're interested in BitFi. I mean, there's nowhere else that's allowing you to do that. And then if you have the Merlin token, you can stake it for 15% in a day-to-day vault. You have to wait 7 days for it to cool down, or you can stake it in a long-term 6-month vault for 45% APY. Absolutely insane. Really excited for what they're building at Merlin. We have a lot of amazing updates today as well. So without further ado, let's bring up Jeff. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here, sir.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
Good morning to
morning.
us. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening to me. And
Yeah.
happy Monday. And always glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for spending time with us, man. It really means a lot, I think, to the audience and community for you to do this. So, how are you feeling about the markets? I know that we ask you this every time, but we got to get a gauge because you not only are you a founder, you're an OG in this space, so you know the markets. You have an intuition, you have a good gut. Could you tell us? Do you feel like this is the real deal, or is it another fake out?
Yeah, I feel a lot of pressure because I think in the past we did lots of prediction, and I think we are right on most times, right? I think in the beginning of the year we said your second bull run, and when Bitcoin was kind of stay there, I think 108K. I say if it can stay here for a couple of days, it will definitely go up, and then we saw the all-time high. And I think right now, I don't want to say super, but I'm definitely bullish because you see lots of moves on Bitcoin and altcoin as well, which is new because I think the altcoin index barely reached the the altcoin bull market index like I think last Tuesday. That's the first time that's for first time I think in 3 years, because even last year the altcoin index is still very low, about like 40, 50, something like that. But I think last week we reached like 70 at one point. Let me check right now. I think right now it's like right now it's like 40, which is right because altcoin kind of got hurt last week. But yeah, I'm very bullish. I don't think anything will tank the market. Even the whale who didn't move his Bitcoin for 10 years and sold 80 Bitcoin didn't hurt the market. I don't think the trade deals with China, with Europe will be bad at all. The only thing left is the CPI and if the Fed will lower the interest rate in September. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish at this moment.
Yeah, well, there is a FOMC in a few days. I'm guessing by saying September, you're saying no change in the next 4 days.
I don't think in July or August. Definitely, I think before it was like eight banks. They predict the interest would be lower in September. Right now, I think 3 of them kind of saying now it's not going to happen. So it's like 3 to 5 right now. I mean 5 to 3 right now. So I don't know. I think the chance is still good. But if it doesn't happen, next year when the chairman resign, definitely gonna be much better.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna get into Merlin for sure because there's a lot of updates here. But I want to ask you because we met actually in 2023 during the ordinal boom, and I know that ordinals have been kind of a tough market. It's just if you've hung around there, kudos to you guys because it's been tough. But we're starting to see collections like Node Monks go from 2,200. It's at $9,000 right now per floor. They did $1 million in volume the last 24 hours. You're seeing puppets get to 6,000. Is this a good sign, or do you feel like maybe this is just a little premature excitement? But do you think this is a good sign that ordinals are in fact showing energy, not just runes?
I think runes probably will be the first one to
aggressive
to get a chance because BRC20 definitely had a lot of like attention at that time. So stats already on Binance, basically every exchange. So it had its chance, and it's not doing very well right now. But runes, they never had its chance. Like I don't think Dog gets the credits because it didn't had its chance before. But now it's on Kraken and it's possible on more exchanges as well. So let's see if runes actually took the chance and do something great, and then we probably will see
rotation
to other Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. But I don't know. I think BRC20 2.0 is a good thing, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually in the camp of I just don't think people care about BRC20s really too much right now. You are seeing some bigger names come out and say, bullish on Ordi and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't realize this, but the Merl token is actually a BRC20, right? Which is absolutely huge. Do you think that this BRC 2.0 could really push BRC20s back into the conversation as the top meme coins or even the top coins on Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'm always honest. I don't think so. Every time I say the truth in my mind, because I think Bitcoin level assets is always about the narrative, the culture. It's never about the technology. Because if you want technology, go to Solana, go to Sui, go to Ethereum. So I think Ruins actually get that. The Ruins community gets that. So they're pushing everything with culture, with narrative, not technical like narrative, but like puppets, like Wizard, like MIM, Dog. But yeah, but I'm still glad, there are lots of people are still building a BRC20, which is good. Like I think Unisat is probably the very few company who is still working, who is still building like Merlin. So I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I think it was so important for BRC20s and even Runes. If you're a utility, BRC20 or Runes, that you at that point you couldn't wait for just the ecosystem. You had to take control of your own success path, right? And that's what Merlin did. You guys said, okay, we're a BRC20 native asset, but we're going to build a scaling solution for Bitcoin layer 1 assets, et cetera, and here we are today. So let's get into Merlin. What's new? What's going on with Merlin? Maybe you can hit on a couple, 2-3 things that is new to the ecosystem. We got a couple of questions for you in the chat, but we'll start off with what's new, what's happening.
Yeah, I think last week the biggest news is probably getting listed on Bithumb. I think we covered this, in the past months, that we're trying to get listed everywhere. I think July is pretty good for us because July we got listed on Kraken, on Coin1, and on Bithumb. So yeah, July is it's a pretty good month. And in Korea there are 3 regulated exchanges, Bithumb, Coin1, and Upbit. So Upbit is probably the next one we need. And yeah, I think the Korean market is kind of crazy. It's always active. We got lots of messages from the Korean community, and we're going to have at least 5 offline events in Korea in late August and early September. Very looking forward to it. And yeah, that's probably the biggest news last week. And so right now we're pushing more, to get more attention from the Korean community. And they don't like Bitcoin narrative that much, to be honest with you guys. But that's something we need to change. So we are planning to have offline events with Babylon, with Solve, with Bedrock, trying to change the narrative there. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, Bithumb, I think they're the 2nd largest, correct, in Korea right now. So that's, congratulations for you guys to get listed on, the 2nd largest exchange there. And we know that the Korean, basically the crypto Korean community is very, very, into crypto in their society and stuff like that. So definitely a big win. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Wizard, because I see this post right below it. Right now we're sitting with Wizard version 0.3, and for the audience that doesn't know what the Wizard is Merlin, an AI product that is built within the MerlinChain infrastructure ecosystem. That's where it started, but the idea is for it to kind of evolve to be this AI product that goes cross-chain and all these things. Correct?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so what's happening in this video? I'm going to pull this video up here, if you don't mind kind of walking me through this. If you can see here. So it says, buy 0.1 Bitcoin worth of Annie on Solana. And then so it purchases. Is this through? Okay, so right now what it's doing is you're utilizing the Wizard to use 0.1 of your Bitcoin to get 225,000 Annie tokens, and Annie's a AI token that shot up to 70 million on Solana. So this is a cross-chain process, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So is this utilizing like, you know, the technology you guys use right now, like a part universal, or what's happening, if you don't mind kind of walking through that part?
So basically it's chain abstraction. So you don't need to have the assets gas fee on BNB chain, Ethereum, Solana anymore. You can use your assets from different chains to trade on different chains. So that's something we encourage users to do. Just hold Bitcoin, and then use Bitcoin to do risky investment, like buying meme coin. And when you're done buying that, you have some profits or you have some loss, doesn't matter. You can change, you can sell that token and change back to Bitcoin.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. I don't know right now if this is integrated into this version that's going to be rolled out that we're viewing right now, but are you going to be able to have an option to say, okay, buy 0.1 Bitcoin and then sell it whenever I have a 30% profit?
Right now we don't support all the maker, but
Okay.
we only support like taker, because most right now most DEX they only accept a taker, and we're trying to support that in the future. But with DEX, the hard part is you cannot do exact, for example 30% profits. You cannot exactly do that, because we can only tell you, okay, right now the price is about 30% higher than what you bought. But when you sell, first, there are lots of transactions on Solana. Second, the liquidity, you don't know. So sometimes with slippage, you probably only have like 25%, 28%, or in the worst case scenario, you have you could even have a loss. So right now we only do takers. So you want to buy, you can buy. You want to sell, you can sell.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna let this video run through. So basically, guys, what the wizard shows you is basically how it's taking your Bitcoin that lives on Merlin, it's converting it to USDT, which then purchases the total amount of Annie that you want. So really cool stuff, and this is the future, in my opinion. Cross-chain interoperability, like the whole tribalism of one chain, that's going out the window. So I hope that you guys are getting ready for that. It's just happening, and that's how society is going to conform and adopt crypto. So they don't want to know what chain they are on. They don't care, like the newbies. So this is going to be a great tool for that. So basically, you confirm, you complete, and then you get to see, your P&L card. So is this going to be a part of it? Like, are you guys thinking about integrating P&L stuff as well?
Yeah. So the time you sell, you can see the P&L on that trade. And in the future, when we add more features, you can see your portfolios and stuff. But right now, we don't want to do like too complicated things on the product yet.
Perfect. All right, cool. Yeah, so very simple. I think that's straight to the point. Now, you did say like in the next version, there's going to be parts of it that you're going to release that is going to be able to give you some data, not financial advice, because there's a distinct difference there. But like an example of that, tell me if I'm right here. I asked the wizard, please get me the top 5 wallets that hold the most cake token from BNB. It'll pull back. It'll give me that data of those 5 wallets and all the tokens they hold. Is that correct, or did I get that wrong?
Yeah, that's gonna be like the easiest question you can ask. So the question we are trying to roll out is, okay, who is buying any token in the past hour? Who is buying the most, or who is dumping the most any tokens in the past hour? Because sometimes you see a huge pump for that token, so you want to say, who is buying. And you cannot see that information on any other platform, but you can definitely see that on the wizard. And sometimes you see the price, it's going down like crazy. You want to say, oh, what the hell? Who is dumping the token? And it will give you the top 5 address, top 10 addresses who is dumping the token. So like these kind of like questions and answers are the ones we're trying to bring to the users.
Yeah, that's going to save the user so much time, right? Like right now, there's so many different places to go get information from, so many different ones. If you're able to sit there and ask somebody a question, like you're sending a text message, that's going to really enable the trader to take advantage of all the tools that are out there, because this wizard, he's going to have his hands dipped everywhere, right? He's getting his information from probably a whole bunch of different APIs.
Yes, APIs, RPC, we're using different solutions to get the data from the chains.
Wow, incredible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
Go ahead.
had a question about Bithumb real quick. So, what is there an exchange you can kind of compare? Because for me, I don't really know any of the Korean exchanges. How big is Bithumb if it was like in the US? Would it be like like a Kraken sized exchange or bigger?
First, definitely bigger than
Wow.
Kraken. I'll get the data right now. So yeah. So
Would you say he was up there with like Coinbase and OKX?
for the altcoin, I think Bithumb has probably the same volume as Coinbase.
Wow.
Wow.
But not OKX. Binance
Okay.
and OKX, they always have like much higher volume for altcoin. But for Bitcoin, I cannot say because Kraken and Coinbase basically used to buy Bitcoin by different institutions. But for altcoin, definitely Bithumb is on level of Coinbase and but lower than OKX. But Upbit is probably the same level as Binance at right now, or even more. So if you want to say where is the place that users trade altcoins and memes the most, Upbit is definitely number one, and then Binance, and then OKX, and then Bithumb and Bybit.
Yeah,
That's
really-
crazy.
yeah, that's crazy.
Why are they not pushed as much globally? That just shows how much Koreans are using in their platform.
Yeah, I think like 40% of the Korean adults are trading crypto, and if you guys travel there. You go to a McDonald's, you go to a KFC, the waitress, the waiter will ask you, which crypto are you buying? Because they can tell you guys are from crypto. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
They don't want tip, like US. They want crypto tips.
That's funny. It's funny because here in the US, I walk around with this hat and people are like, "Oh, I hate Boston." And it's like, it's not Boston hat.
They say
it's
Boston?
hat. They think this is a Boston hat. That's how the difference between the U.S. normies and like Korean normies. I mean, if you have a waitress asking you tips about your cryptocurrency you're buying, that's a place where I want to live. Man. That's awesome.
Like they don't even charge you for the food. Every time we go there, they know we are the crypto guys. From China, they want tips from us, and they will say, "Okay, the food is on the house."
Oh my god, we need to go to Korea just eat for free and just be
Seriously,
like, hey,
dude,
yeah, we have this.
Walk in with your Bitcoin hat and just man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
cool. We got a couple questions in here for you. The first one is from Stan. He's a very good community member of ours. He says, "Are debit cards on the Merlin roadmap?" That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think definitely, but probably not MerlinChain because we are a chain, right? But on different DApps. We're going to have in the future, definitely debit card, credit cards, all this, using MoonPay, all of that can be supported. And we want users to buy, tokens or NFTs easier, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously the next evolution of like a solid infrastructure is having some sort of payment card or something that's strong and stable and formidable associated with the environment there. So yeah, I'm excited for when that happens. And then he says, would Jeff be interested in dropping Merlin on Hypermall? I'm not sure, Stan, how that would work because Merlin's a chain. Maybe you're talking about the wizard. That would be the only thing that could work with that. Do you know what Hypermall is?
I don't know what is Hypermall.
So it's the track.
Yeah,
it's the track. Basically, their ecosystem. They developed it's actually a like application, like a PC application. You have to download it, and then I think maybe they have like a Web 2 browser eventually that's coming out. So, yeah, Stan, not sure how that would work unless you're talking about the wizard, but that could work. But I'm not sure if that is on the map there. And that's it as of right now. But yeah, did we miss anything on the Merlin X account that you wanted to hit on? We hit on the Bithumb. We hit on the wizard.
There's another video about the wizard. I think the day before
Okay.
the Ani one.
All right, let me pull that up.
Well, while you find that real quick, I just want to talk about something real quick. You did say your the boots will be on the ground there with with Merlin, and you guys are going to be here at Korea Blockchain Week. I think this is going to be an absolutely huge for Merlin to kind of be here with the people. Could you kind of tell us like how this kind of works, what you guys are going to be doing, and like how crazy is this event?
Yeah. So so basically, KBW is the event that young people like to go. Every event, it's crazy. The latest one, started at 4 a.m. and ended like 9 a.m. And I don't know how this guy can still work next day. Yeah, and last time, every time I was trying to sleep, like 4 a.m. in the morning, and they say, "Okay, come on, like the Queen just started, just join the event." And so I think it's gonna be very crazy. And we're doing at least 5 events there. The first one, we are working with 3 to 4 major Korean universities, like a hackathon, but with college students. So we're going to have some, a devs there, product manager there, trying to build something for Bitcoin. And there's another one we're doing with Coinus, which is the biggest media in Korea, and Soft. So we're going to have a BTC Bitcoin theme event. And yeah, so we're going, like, these events are serious, but we're going to have some party events there as well, because that's everybody's doing. So yeah, I think Korean Blockchain Week will be very, very, very big. And also in August, I think August around 24th, we're going to Japan, their biggest crypto event. I think it's like a WebX festival. So we're going to have some events in Tokyo as well. And also the August 28th in Hong Kong, I think there's gonna be a Bitcoin summit held by Bitcoin Magazine. So that one is probably more facing institutions, because there are lots of companies in Hong Kong trying to do something with Bitcoin, like the Nasdaq companies. But the only thing, just another topic, but the only difference here is Nasdaq companies can actually get money from the market to buy Bitcoin, but in Hong Kong, and it's not legal yet. So the Bitcoin Summit will be pretty good too, but not crazy like last time we have the Ordinals, summit in Hong Kong. I don't know if you guys were there, right? Are you guys there?
No, we didn't make that one. The last one.
Remember, like, lots of guys were there, right? Lots of guys.
Yeah.
Jumping in the pool. Yeah, lots of guys. I think that time was like, yeah. So nothing fun is gonna happen. Bitcoin is not fun anymore. But more institutions are involved. Let the big guys, let the old guys take over Bitcoin. Blah blah blah. But yeah, that's gonna be all offline events in the next 2 months.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, I got the video up here, guys. So I'm gonna show that really quick. So let's get it started. So this is another video showing the Merlin Wizard here. So buy 0.1 Bitcoin worth of Annie. Wait, isn't this the one I just showed?
No, not that one. Yeah, that one just showed. The other one.
Hold on a second. So there was one
day before.
Yeah, I think it's just the images he's talking about. Those ones.
Oh,
this
yeah,
one?
that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was confused about. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's the image, not the video. Yeah.
All right, so asking Merlin Wizard about CFX today. 200 CFX times 5. Oh, that's just a giveaway. Okay, so this is the actual image. Okay, there we go. Now I'm on track. All right, CFX is going nuts today. What's going on? Overview. Conflux Network is a high-performing layer 1 blockchain founded in 2018 by computer scientist Feng Long. I'm not gonna
you don't have to like read all that. So basically, 3 parts. First is overview, tell you the brief information. The second part is about the price and performance, who is buying, the volume, liquidation, on-chain OI. And the third part is going to be the social media sentiment. So, who is talking about that token? Because like sometimes you see a token, going up or going down. Like, the mantra thing, the story, like, they're crazy news every day. Like today with OP, I don't know if you guys see OP pump today, just because OP got listed on Upbit, the Korean people are buying Ethereum right now. Yeah. So when you see some token going crazy, crazy up or crazy down, you should ask the wizard, because he will tell you what's going on. And I think the social media sentiment part is my favorite part, because you can see many people, they're talking about this. What's the pros? What's the cons? What is the FUD? What is the good news about this? And you basically can get a overview of what's going on today in just like 1 second.
This is going to be such a heavily used like research tool, I feel like, right? Because every day, a lot of people, traders, what they'll do is they'll just like open the windows up for certain news outlets and stuff. But if you can use the wizard straight up, that's going to grab all this information. So when will stuff like this be available for the wizard?
Yeah, we're aiming this week. So definitely sometime this week. But I don't think on Tuesday, probably after Wednesday. But guys, just follow MerlinChain account, Twitter account, and try this, for free.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you guys actually made its own website. Is that public yet? Can I share that?
I don't think the function is there, but the UI is
okay.
Like the old version. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we'll share it next time when it's available. But yeah, 100%. Well, yeah, I can actually just show you guys. So you guys made it wizard.tech now, which is a lot easier. Before you had to go to MerlinChain and hit the wizard button. So you guys took out a click out of that, made it its own domain. But yeah, so you guys want to check it out, check out wizard.tech. And like Jeff said, probably later this week, it's going to have all the functions that we've talked about today. But Jeff, man, really appreciate your time here. We'd love to give you the stage one last time to talk to the audience. If you have anything else to say.
Yeah, I think the market's getting better. Just be prepared. Buy stuff you like we talked about like months ago. Just dump all the tokens you don't want and buy the ones you're most bullish about. I think every token will have a chance in the bull run. And hope the ruins and ordinals are getting better, because that's hope the rotation goes back to Bitcoin ecosystem. Everyone, Merlin, Solve, Fractal, Babylon, all of them.
Yeah, there's still time left, though, don't you think? We got about 5 months left, so people can start preparing, and there's no need to rush left and right now, because we got some time to prepare for it. Yeah, so I agree, man. It's been awesome. It's good that finally the time seems to be coming, but I'm not gonna get too excited yet because I need a little bit further confirmation. But I do think we're gonna head into a good Q4. And Jeff, thank you so much. We will see you next week.
Cool. See you guys.
See you, man.
Bye.
Yeah, man, absolutely awesome as always. Really appreciate Jeff giving us his time, man. It's absolutely awesome to actually be able to sit there and talk to a founder of a chain who's building something. I mean, truly special. I mean, you're adding AI, blockchain. I mean, you really can't go wrong. I mean, that's the future. I can't imagine people not using AI when you're using blockchain in the future. It's a match made forever. So.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of AI projects that aren't really building too much. Like, they're just more talk. But, the Wizard, Hustle, those type of projects and products you got to pay attention to, because these are the ones that are actually stirring, things up and creating this type of innovation.
100%. We'll jump in a roll call here. So we got Webdro in the number one spot again. Shout out to Webdro. Man, dude, you do not let up, brother. He had 3 wins in a row. He won Thursday, Friday, and now Monday. 36, 37, 38. He is only one behind Lackey Lukey for the Frog now. This is like a heavyweight boxing match at this point. Absolutely fun to watch. If you guys don't know what this is, every day I take the first comment of the day and I put it on a spreadsheet, this spreadsheet. And we've been tracking this all the way since January 1st, and we're going to continue to tracking it. This year, we're going to be giving away a Bitcoin Frog to the person who has the most wins. I was thinking for next year, what we do is instead of it, counting the wins, next year let's do raffle. So he'll have 38 entries on the wheel. You know what I mean? Or he'll have 37, or he'll have
that'd
one
be
entry.
Cool.
I think we should do that instead, because that kind of gives everyone at least one opportunity just to get on here.
Man,
but this year
that wheel's gonna be jam packed though.
We'll have 365, right? Or no, it'll have about 300 names on it, right? So, and a lot of them being probably Lucky Lukey or Webdro. But yeah, I think this year it's whoever wins gets it, because that's what we said in the beginning. We're not gonna change it now. But it does look like it's gonna be a heavyweight battle between Webdro and Lucky Lukey.
Yeah, or we could use magic. Like a random kind of a picker or something like that. We could figure something out.
Yeah. We could definitely do that as well. Yeah, 100%. All right, they went Webdro again. Tim Baker's here. Shout out to Tim Baker. Matt's is here. OnePlus Ad is here. Merlin's lucky, my guy. Appreciate you being here today. ASAP Benji every single day. Appreciate you. Rare Sots Dom. And then Crypto Decoded, man. Really appreciate you being here. Absolutely awesome. He said, looks like the favorites, if they don't win, they just reorg, make them win. Not really sure what you're talking about there.
Do you think we control YouTube's This
I don't
hilarious,
know.
man. Some people.
Lackey Lukey, Bitcoin is Truth is here. ASAP Benji is here. K99, Vader Time, Spindrift is here. Shout out to Spindrift. What's the top rune play? If you could buy one rune right now, which rune would that be?
Man, that's a tough one
You
because
going safety like dog? You going risky
probably
like
a little risk,
Gizmo?
a little risky, a little safety. I would go Billy big, but
Billy.
that's me. That's
Yeah,
just
no, I think
me.
it's a very good choice. Very good choice. Crypto Winner says I'm bullish right now. I think we all are, man. Honestly, worst thing would happen is if we just go below like 110. That would be awful. Chief Axel is here. No, with his Bitcoin Nuki. Appreciate you, my friend. Super fan every single day. Appreciate you, my guy. Nighthawk is here. Shout out to Nighthawk GM. Fellas, fresh week. Let's have a go. Yeah, that fresh week, man, feels good every week. It feels good. That nice reset. Let's go on Chain Revolution. Hydro Sapien, my guy. Appreciate you every single day. Lucky Lukey is here. RuneStacks, GM. Appreciate you, my friend. Hillbilly is here. He's a GM. Let's get this week going. Yes, sir. Dominage is here. Changed to OnChain Revolution. Yes. Jonathan Mitchell is here. OnChain Revolution. RuneStack says Ethereum is unreliable monetary policy, makes it so it doesn't matter what inflation is, arbitrarily applied at random time periods. Merge, splurge, purge. We know that's our guy, or Dutra, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I just think Ethereum right now is an indicator. That's all it really is, right? You can hate its monetary policy, whatever, but hey, number go up, man. Hopefully, myself says I want to see Bitcoin punks pump. They are the first Ordinals 10K collection. Yeah, but they're a derivative of the OG. It's really hard to see them kind of fly. Cash Cats is here with the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out to Cash Cats, my guy. Appreciate you, the coach. Appreciate you, my friend. Ray is here. Shout out to Ray. Thank you for reposting the stream. Cash Cat says, dog opened the door in Kraken. Looking forward to what the runes system does, Min, Gizmo, etc. Yeah, 100%, dude. I couldn't agree more. Dog did open the door, and now you could see 7, 8, 10 runes getting listed. Token Jokin says, GM weirdos, GM to you, my weirdo friend. And he says, I love you, Chads, my guy. KM is here. He says 600 million ETH. It's funny when you mention Hex at all. It's like people who don't really comment are like, no, you're wrong. It's 600 million. But thank you so much for hopping in here. Felix is here. Is the bear market back? Don't think so, buddy. I think we have a long way to go. Myself says Pulse Chain ecosystem will pump. I do think that Richard Hart will pump the crap out of that ecosystem. Erdrick says we need a Yen Tech Solutions PFP collection. That would be pretty cool. Have Yen Tech Solutions for sure. Stan says, that's your question to Jeff. These are your questions to Jeff. He said North Korea hackers have grabbed a lot of project funds. Does Jeff have nation states that he's heavily guarding? Not really sure. So we were talking about South Korea, not North, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, South Korea. But I mean, I think that's always something to think about, though.
100%. And then Matt's finishing off GM. Appreciate you, Matt. Appreciate every single one of you guys who makes roll call each and every day. Let's jump back in some topics here because we do have some stuff that we didn't get to earlier. All right, so let's get to some good stuff here. It's just minutes. Okay. Okay, so the reason why Bitcoin pumped yesterday was a lot of different reasons. The main reason was China and the U.S. agreed to extend their pause on tariffs for 90 days. A lot of the big stock guys weren't happy about this. They want to see a deal get done. Pushing the can down the road is what they're saying with this, but still, this is better than nothing. It's better than stuff happening. You got to remember, these are two countries that are talking right now, and they need time to kind of make sure and hash things out. The U.S. reached a deal with EU yesterday as well, and the White House will release its first crypto policy report on Wednesday, July 30th. So what do you think about all this? The deal with China, the extension of the delay with China, the deal with the EU, and then the crypto policy coming out this Wednesday?
Yeah, so I think the extension is just, a nothing burger. It's just more like, okay, like it's not bad. Like at least there isn't some, horrible tariff that's going in permanently and et cetera, et cetera. I think that the White House releasing crypto policy reports is going to be really bullish because it's like this is serious. This is not just to kind of, make a group of people happy and that's it, right? It's like they're following through here. So this needs to continually happen and get deeper and deeper, because it needs to get to a point to where there's a point of no return, right? So the next 3 years are going to be very important for crypto policy as well as infrastructure integration, right? Once you start integrating crypto and stable coins into PayPal, into banks, into all these things, there's no turning back at that point. And we need to get there, because if there's any way that won't hurt the financial system very much, the next administration, if they're not crypto friendly, they will reverse it. So it needs to be so formidable that like it just can't turn around. So this is bullish. They need to keep doing this. They need to keep pushing infrastructure. They need to keep pushing all the adoption stuff, and we'll be good.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think is in this bill? Not this bill, what do you think in this report? Do you think there will be a way for them to start a strategic reserve? This is kind of what the Bitcoin Magazine's guys are kind of saying that is going to be in this. That potential Bitcoin reserve idea of how to get it started is going to be written in there.
Yeah. So I think that like that could be something. Obviously that could be part of it, but I also think it's going to be just like the overall of how how the US government treats is going to be treating crypto, how they're going to be viewing it, and I think that's going to be very, very important, because if we handle this correctly, then depending on what they put out there, it's going to give more and more confidence to the everyday person, and how the US society should look at crypto as well. So I don't know. I think it's going to be very, very important.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. Moving along though, Strategy reports no weekly Bitcoin purchase. A total remains 607,770. MetaPlanet said hold my beer, and they grabbed 780 Bitcoin worth 92 million, bringing the total to 17,000. So Strategy has 607,000. MetaPlanet, little Strategy, has 17,000. They're right there. Absolutely awesome. But then Sharplink came in and said, hey, we're gonna buy the most we're gonna buy $295 million worth of Ethereum, now holding 438,000 Ethereum worth 1.69 billion. They're actually catching up to MetaPlanet. Look at these two. You have MetaPlanet at 1.73 million Bitcoin in dollar value, and then Sharplink has 1.69 billion in Ethereum dollar value. But crazy to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is they're just ramping it up, dude. They're so this is why I think people are bullish on ETH right now, right? I think there was a post by our guy or Deutscher that was talking about why Ethereum might not be like the best choice, but the biggest thing is number go up technology. We know that, and once all these people, these institutions and stuff push Ethereum up, it doesn't matter at that point. Like more institutions are going to buy into it and all these things, and it's going to really spur the next stage of what we're in right now.
100%. And then, all right, let's move along here. So billionaire Ray Dalio suggests 15% of your money in gold or Bitcoin. It's the first time ever that he's came out and said this. He said that he was bullish on Bitcoin. He said that, he holds Bitcoin, but this is the first time he's ever came out and said 15% of your money in gold or Bitcoin as a hedge against devaluation of fiat. He is somebody who studies the fiat system. He studied it, it's failed every single time, and he's been someone who said, hey, it's probably going to fail again. He thinks China is the next superpower of the world, and he says that holding 15% of your Bitcoin of your money in gold or Bitcoin as a hedge, this is insane to me. This is like the biggest story of the day, and no one's talking about this.
Yeah, Ray Dalio is definitely someone you want to pay attention to. I feel like he's been pretty accurate for most part, but like I think like the biggest thing that he's predicted is the change of guard, for the world power and what that looks like. But if he's right, then this makes sense for him to say this, because he believes one thing that I think is hard to deny is the fact that the devaluation of the dollar is happening, and it's been happening, and it's going to continue to happen. And so by being able to keep 15% of your wealth in gold, Bitcoin, or something that is harder to devalue, and it won't devalue against fiat, is smart, and it's predictable that he would suggest this though because of his thesis on, you know, the dollar going down and kind of the world power switching. I think that's going to take a long time though for
Yeah, I do
for
too.
the switch of powers and all that stuff.
I don't think it'll be our lifetime, but it could be potentially like, you know, my grandkids' lifetime or something like that. But I do think that does happen. I think that we here have messed up a good thing, but we can fix it. We still have time to fix it. Cathie Wood, ARK Invest predicts Bitcoin could hit 1.5 million in a bull case scenario. What do you think, bro? You think Bitcoin could hit 1.5 million? I mean, I thought my target of 700K was absolutely insane, but Cathie's like, no, hold my beer. 1.5 million is bull case
I
scenario.
mean, maybe in 2030.
Yeah.
You know, that's only 5 years away. It's not like it's that far away, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think in 2030 or something like that, yeah, we could. But I mean, Cathie Wood, to me, like, obviously she's had a lot of success in her life, but I just feel like she's like the one of the biggest like bullshiller out of like the whole TradFi. Like she just she goes 0 to 100 like every time. You know what I mean? But I mean, she's had success. We'll see if that success continues though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my prediction by 2030 is I'm thinking it's going to be $6 million Bitcoin. I think that we hit 6,900 or 69K last cycle. I think we're going to hit 690K this cycle, and I think we hit 6.9 million next cycle. But I mean, sounds crazy, but I think it's definitely possible. We are going to need the dollar to inflate heavily to get there, but I think it does.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a question I want to ask you. Polymarket users predict 95% chance that the Fed will not make any rate cuts changes this Wednesday. I'm actually leaning towards that Jerome does it. I think Jerome's just going to want to, he seems like a loyal person.
For July?
Wants them to cut. Yeah, I think this Wednesday, I think they cut 0.25. You have Trump just breathing down his neck right now, and he's older, right? Like he's not like this young guy who wants to fight the power anymore. If he comes out and doesn't cut the rates on Wednesday, he's gonna have so much hate, and maybe he can deal with it. If I was him, if I was his age, I would just be like, it's a little cut. It's not gonna really make that big of a difference. I would actually consider doing it. But I do think his board is going to sit there and they're all going to talk about it because they all want his job. I mean, that's the reason why you're in that. You want to be the top dog there. You're not there to be number 2 or number 3. Everyone wants that promotion. Everyone wants that sense of power. None of them are really there to make money. They're all there to build a legacy. And I think they all want Jerome's spot. And I think they're all going to talk to him about just cutting rates. And I think he's going to agree to 0.25. And if he does, I mean, it could be an epic run.
Yeah, it could be, but I feel like it's going to be he's also old and stubborn too though, and I think the Fed works very closely with those people at the WEF and all. There's strategy happening, dude.
Yeah.
But again, there's people below him that are in the kind of, it's about me having success type of mentality. You know what I mean? So maybe they try to push him, and it all matters about the vote, right? That's what matters.
So there is a vote, but he does make the final decision. He says he takes everyone's vote into it's not a public vote. I mean, it is a public vote when the minutes come out. We'll find out when the Fed minutes come out what actually happened in there, but that's like a month later. Yeah. But he does normally take in everyone's vote into consideration before he makes his decision.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. Like, but that was funny whenever we saw them at the construction site. You could tell that there's like this just disagreement between both of them in terms of like everything. Like there's this it's not like a smooth relationship between them.
But like, why wouldn't you just cut it? Just if you cut it 0.25, you're gonna get them off your back, right? And you can continue your pace and down the line. It to me, it would be just a fresh, just a fresh restart for Jerome and Trump's relationship as well, right? You can say, let's get on the same page here, and we're gonna cut a little bit just to make sure that we're, I'm giving you a little bit. Right? That's what Trump wants. He doesn't want you to come full his side. He wants you to just come to meet him in the middle. I think a 0.25 cut is meeting him in the middle.
Yeah, I think it is too, but I just don't know. I don't think that it happens though this week. I just don't see it happening in September maybe. But even then, man, it just really depends on how they view it, because they're able to spin the data too. Saying,
Yeah.
oh, the tariffs haven't been integrated to where long enough, and all this stuff. So we're gonna find out really quickly. I think, well, not really quickly, because I think it doesn't happen this month, and then we have to wait all through August and see what happens in September.
Yeah, 45 days later, from the 30th to the 15th of September. A solo miner successfully mined a Bitcoin block, earning 3.16 Bitcoin, worth over 375,000. Dude, the more and more I see this, bro, it's like once a month now. I'm about to go buy me a freaking like a little miner. I mean, dude, it's a lottery ticket, but you get a little miner for like $200, right? And then you just install it. It's probably going to cost you like I don't know, a refrigerator worth of electricity, right? I mean, it's probably not gonna be much at all. And I don't know, man, waking up one day with 3.16 Bitcoin in your wallet that you attach to it. I mean, I don't know, man.
That has to be like, man, such a good feeling just to wake up to that. But it's a lotto.
Yeah.
Man. It is the lotto. It's the lotto, because there's a
And
lot of people that have
I guess I wouldn't check it, right? I'm not gonna check that wallet every day, but like I guess if you see something like this, you can run over to your miner wallet, because you have to attach a Bitcoin wallet to it, and you kind of see if there's Bitcoin in there, right? Imagine looking at it like, I have $375,000 in here. This is crazy. But yeah. Pudgy Penguins squashed the OpenSea acquisition rumors. Pudgy Penguins didn't buy OpenSea. Chill, says Luca Nets. They do have a major announcement coming, though. So this was the major announcement everyone thought was happening. Could they have bought Magic Eden? Like, I don't know. Now I'm just kind of going down the line. Could they have bought Blur? What do you think this big acquisition is if it's not OpenSea?
What if it is Magic Eden, though? Because like Magic Eden's, I feel like there's been some like weirdness with it, right?
A lot of people quitting and stuff.
Yeah, that and just exactly. And I mean, that would be a huge acquisition for Luca Nets, though, because but would it make sense though? Oh, man, probably. I think it would. Like, it generates revenue. We know that.
Yep.
How can they like increase the product though? How can they make the product better? Also, that could be really good for the Bitcoin ecosystem though, because like he already likes like ordinals.
Yeah,
runes, I think he's kind of like I don't know how he feels about it, but like he's bullish on ordinals. He loves ordinals, so he could really trick that freaking platform up a bit, and like maybe make a better experience for people trying to swap runes and all these things. So we'll see.
Think about this though. Hey, stake your Pudgy, stake your Pengu, stake your ABS, and earn fees from the Magic Eden exchange. This 100% of the fees is going to people who stake your assets. And I'm talking long-term stake. I'm talking a year, 2 years, and potentially he decentralizes Magic Eden or Blur or something, right? After he buys it, and then all the fees go to, imagine you can, if you have a Pudgy Penguin, you can get yearly fees from the exchange that sells Pudgy Penguins. Right?
That
like,
would be
I don't
amazing.
know, man. I think that is that. I don't know. Obviously it's just rumors, but everyone was thinking they bought OpenSea. What if it's another one? What if it's Blur? Right? I mean, that could be big too.
I think Blur has a lot of bad baggage with it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You put a new face on it. Obviously, the technology is amazing. Obviously, it works great, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. Like, it's still one of the top exchanges. And then you put a Pudgy Penguin logo. You rename it, rebrand it. Pudgy Exchange or something, right? Who knows?
Yeah, I think Magic Eden would be better, but probably a lot more expensive too.
A lot more expensive for sure. Bitcoin hash rate hits a record new high. I mean, it's just up only. The hash rate is seriously just up only here, and I did have it, but it is lost in my stuff here. But yeah, Bitcoin hash rate has just been up only. Absolutely insane there. I'll get your opinion on this. So cbspears says 4 straight weeks of slightly increasing loan volume on Liquidium WTF. Been almost a year since we saw that. So cbspears obviously has been following what they're doing over on Liquidium more than us. But as you can see here, let me show you my chart here. This was obviously March of 2024, absolutely insanity insane. They're probably making so much money. As you can see here, the blue is Ordinals. The orange is runes, and then the black or the gray is BRC20s, right? Barely any loan volume of BRC20s at all. But you are seeing now runes have actually taken half of the volume now. But these 4 candles are kind of showing almost what we've seen back here. Do you think the loan volume is caused by price here? And do you think that potentially people are trying to get some node monkeys cheap by hoping people don't pay back their loan?
Maybe, but it does seem like it's starting to creep up. But so it's reached. It looks like it's reached like middle of late April numbers. But if we start to really start to creep up like how October 2023 was, man, because like if you remember, was it November, December 2023? That was the Ordinals bull market.
Yeah.
That's when everything in of course, like, parts of January and February were great for certain collections like node monks and stuff like that. But we could be heading, this is a good indicator. This is a good indicator
really
for the Bitcoin ecosystem. So we could start to see some drastic, when we start to see the drastic jump, because if you look at the beginning of that chart, you see that jump up right there. That's the first big jump up. And then we see another big jump up happen right before March. And it just increases. It doesn't stop after that first big jump up. So we need to see that first big jump up start to happen. We might have to wait till maybe like September, October-ish, but I don't know. It's increasing slowly right now.
Am I crazy for wanting to take my Magic Internet money over to Liquidium and taking a loan out on it and then using that money to buy more Magic Internet money? Does that sound wild? Or is that stupid? What do you think? I guess it depends on how long I have of the loan to pay back, right?
Yeah. It depends on how long you have to pay back. But no, it's not stupid if you do it at the right time and you do it right. It's smart.
Yeah. a week before a Kraken listing?
I think more like, okay, game on, like we're in the bull market, like all season is here. Like
Gotcha.
then I think like if you can time that, if you're able to get 3-month out loan, I think that'd be okay, because we're talking about I don't know. I would probably want like a half year. I know that Liquidium's loans are pretty short.
They do like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're really short term. So I would probably wait on something like that. But like I said, if you play it right, man, it's basically you'd be paying pennies for your, because you'd be making so much on the asset that you're doubling, tripling down on, and then your loan is stable, right? Or they give you Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, Bitcoin. So
you do have to pay back in Bitcoin. Man, Liquidium needs to add the stable tokens in there. That's a game changer.
I know. 100%. That would be huge if I can take it out and pay it back. Because that's I'm afraid. That's the only reason I am afraid to do it. What if Bitcoin runs to 150 and I'm sitting there, now I buy these assets and now that's not keeping up with Bitcoin itself. But that is our show, guys. I really appreciate, man. Huge crowd today. Leonidas hit us with a retweet on X. That is why we kind of pumped a lot on X there. I was wondering what was going on, and I went and checked my post, and I thought we were talking about dog today, and Leo hit us with a nice little repost, and that was why we have 881 people over on X, 113 on YouTube, 101 on Twitch, not to mention everyone on Kick, Abstract, Rumble, and Spotify later. We really appreciate every single one of you guys. Absolutely amazing Monday. I can't wait for the rest of the week.
Absolutely. Without you guys, we could not do this. We love doing this every day. So thank you so much for allowing us to do this and do this for you guys, right? But also our partners support us as well to allow us to do this. So if you could check out our partners, we'd greatly appreciate it. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for runes or alkanes, because they support both meta protocols now, you got to go to satsterminal.com. Why? Because you can earn Amber points, and Amber points are a points XP system for Sats Terminal that are going to be going towards a give back for early adopters. So if you connect your wallet for the first time, you get 1,000 Amber points, and then every transaction contributes more Amber points to your your entire balance there of Amber points there. So really cool system that I got there. It's going to be a give back, so it's going to be really exciting. Also, top runes. Got to do it over there. They're going to find the most liquid, best price for you guys. Same thing with Alkanes. So Alkanes is also still, hot right now. So make sure that you guys are swapping for your Alkanes there. Head over to satsterminal.com today. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability tooling for the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to jump your ordinals to Ethereum, you can do so. You can jump your Taproot Wizard right now, take a loan out on Ethereum on the Gandhi application, but they're going to probably be opening up to other collections as well. But you can take over anything. You can vault any ordinal or even rare Pepe's counterparty stuff from Bitcoin to Ethereum, but they're going to open this up to other layer 2s as well, like Base, Arbitrum, possibly Merlin on the Bitcoin layer 2 side, and Solana down the line. Speaking of Solana, you're going to be able to utilize your agent or you're going to be able to utilize Agent Hustle to help you vault these items, because they're going to add the Bitcoin tech stack to Agent Hustle. But right now, you can use Hustle to guide you through the trenches of Solana. If you want a quick, data information about some tokens that could be a safe 2 to 5x, you ask Hustle, he'll bring you back the information. And then you can also use them as kind of like limit buy and sell orders. You can use them as a conditional trading AI. And so use Hustle as like a tool in your toolbox, but he is very advanced and innovative in this AI sector of crypto. Also, they got the Hustle token, and everybody's believing in Hustle because that token has been running up very strong. They also have migrate.fund, which is a part of the Hustle ecosystem. So if you are a founder on the Pump Fund side and you have those LP tokens locked up and you can't take advantage of it, you can actually migrate from Pump Fund to Bonk, or you can migrate from Pump Fund to just having your own LP, so you can earn more rewards and then do something better for your community that way. It's really simple. You just head over to migrate.fund to learn more about it, and then you can reach out to their team to ask any questions that you have there. And don't forget, they also have a Bitcoin rune for the parent brand Emblem Vault. So it's called the Founder Vaults. If you go to OpenSea, you search Founder Vaults, you can buy an NFT, which is like a pre-sale of the Bitcoin rune. And once the TGE goes live, which I think is blocked 925,000, so it should be around October, I think, you're going to be able to have access to that Bitcoin wallet that has the runes inside of them. So really cool, unique way of doing a TGE. Check out emblem.vision to learn more and connect with that team. They are definitely open to answering questions in their Discord and Telegram. All right, Artura Finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're going to be offering Bitcoin fungible tokens for you guys to be able to trade down the line. Right now, they started off with their launch on Botonics, which is Bitcoin layer 2 called the Spider Chain. You can trade Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, but as I mentioned, their plans are to bring Bitcoin fungible tokens on platform like Doggo to the Moon, possibly $1 Billion Cat, maybe Ordi and Sats as well. We'll see. But also, they're going to be adding basically like X stock style stuff, MicroStrategy, stuff like that. So it's going to be unique. It's going to be a place that you can only do it here. And so that's what's so exciting about this team. Head over to Artura.finance, get familiarized with the platform, and then earn points. They have an XP point system as well. And if you use their platform, you're going to earn points on the Botanic side as well. So they're doing an early give back as well. So really exciting stuff. Head over to Artura.finance today. And then Fluid Tokens is the UTXO Wizard dev team of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Started off on Cardano, still building there and also building on Bitcoin. But Cardano, you can actually add liquidity to their Aquarium platform and earn Babel fees. Also, there's automatic scheduled payments that is on the Cardano side. So if you pay your devs and your team in ADA, you can schedule automatic recurring payments that way to make your life more simple. And then on the Bitcoin side, they have staking vaults. They just released Alkanes and Rune staking vaults. So if you stake Dog, you can earn Diesel. If you stake Diesel, you can earn Dog. And they have just straight Alkane staking vaults as well. So make sure that you're going over there. And this is all Bitcoin layer 1, by the way. If you're a founder of a project and you want to add a staking vault, head over to their Discord, put a ticket in, and they'll get you set up with that. Really exciting stuff. They also have an airdrop tool on the Bitcoin side. So if you want to airdrop your community runes or alkanes, you can do so. Two options to do it. It is one, add a CSV file with all the addresses, or two, just do it manually. So really, really cool stuff there. head over to fluidtokens.com to learn more. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet of the Bitcoin and Cardano ecosystem, but very, very soon they're going to be adding support for SUI. And so you can actually trade for runes directly in the wallet application. They partner with Sats Terminal, and you can also trade for Cardano tokens as they partner with Dex Hunter on that side. They're going to have partnership announcements for the SUI ecosystem as soon as they start adding support there, which would be right around the corner. And they're going to be adding support to other ecosystems in the future as well. This team is just trying to make it a one-stop shop to make everything about UI, UX. You can find an alpha section with the YouTube channels. You can find us there as well in the app. Head over to the Apple App Store if you have an iPhone, and head over to the Google Play Store if you have an Android. Head over to Tokyo.io today to learn more and join their community. And then MerlinChain is uniting Bitcoin strength with the power of AI. Through their Wizard 0.3 version. We went over that today. You can actually use the Wizard for DeFi functionality right now to swap or stake. And speaking of staking, you can help secure the chain with the proof of stake options. There's 3 different staking options. Bitcoin, you stake Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin. It's on average about around 16% APR. It is locked up until September 30th. If you do stake Bitcoin, just know that. And there's 2 options for the Merlin side. There's the flexible, which you'll earn 15% APR. And then, but that's a day-to-day, and you actually can claim your rewards every single day as well. But it does take 7 days if you do want to withdraw that. So just know that. And then there is the bonded, which is a 6-month lockup period, but you earn 45% APR. Same thing. You can claim your rewards every single day, but it is locked up for 6 months. So just know that before you go in. Also, make sure you're following MerlinChain at Merlin Layer 2 on X, so you get updates about their latest listings. This team is crushing it, constantly adding new listings to their ecosystem. So head over to merlinchain.io to learn more. And lastly is our guys from Ordinal Hive, the Ordinal aggregator marketplace. You're going to find the cheapest ordinals around at ordinalhive.io. They also have really cool mempool insights, which is a trader tool. If someone fat fingers a node monk for like 2,000, you could grab it really quick. Also, they have almost instant liquidity when you sell, so you don't have to wait for 10, 20, 50-minute blocks. They provide that upfront. And so they have their XP dashboard as well. That's up there. So head over to ordinalhive.io and join that community as well. Really fun community. And last thing I want to say is that we're going to be starting a new show in the evening on Tuesdays with Tokyo. So tomorrow we'll kick things off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys are checking that out. It's going to be really focused around Tokyo and kind of just a fun, relaxing show, but new basic like scaled solutions that are getting integrated with Bitcoin too. So think SUI, think Cardano, think of stuff like that are building within the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Great job, man, as always. And real quick, I just want to jump in the comments here. Patty Poo with a sub Stan says, thanks, guys. And the truth says, no kidding. ETH to 4K. LOL. It's right there. Nice call. Yeah, we were talking about the block that's happening with that 4K. ETH went up to 4K 3 different times and couldn't get past it. So if you were here earlier or on time there, Truth, like you should be tomorrow, you can actually know what we're talking about. But thanks for hopping in today. I really appreciate you. Cash Cats is here. My guy, appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us all the way to the end. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys do have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChain Revolution.io is some of the best articles, guys. Articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone who wants to catch up in the space, our articles is the best way to do that. Check them all out here. New article dropping probably this week as well. So check that out when it drops. If you guys need a VPN, highly recommend Nord. We have a 76% off coupon there. So guys, check that out. Lock it in for 2 years, because if you lock it in for 3 months, you'll be paying that $11.59 once you 3 months is up. So lock it in for 2 years, set it, forget it. I think I paid $66 or something like that. Locked it for 2 years, set it, forget it, done with it, done. And I just able to use my VPN every single day. So why should you get a VPN? Well, first off, it's privacy. You do not want people get your IP address from going on websites, especially in crypto, because that can lead to your home address. You don't want that. I don't want that. Don't be just leaving your IP everywhere. It's not smart. With a VPN, it blocks your IP. Actually, no one can actually say it. It actually puts you in a place that you want to be. For me, I use Switzerland, I use El Salvador, and just places that I've never been, right? And I just put it those places. I'm able to use stuff like MEXC. I'm able to use different stuff, which they block you. It's not your country blocking you. It's the site itself that geo blocks you. And having a VPN gets you around that. And you're able to use these awesome, amazing sites that you can trade Bitcoin and stuff on very quickly for cheap. Really, really cheap. I mean, pennies compared to what Coinbase and Kraken and stuff charge. So that's why I use exchanges like that. And, so definitely want to check out a VPN if you're interested in that. And if you guys need merch, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto: hats, jackets, hoodies, and so much more. Check it all out here at onchainrevolution.io. And guys, remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear tracks. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How do the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and arching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain revolution.